From deep in the forest, high atop the great Smoky Mountains. This is Smoky Mountain Off-Grid. See, I had to do that intro. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna put this out of the way. You know why. Alright. Just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving today. More of this COVID stuff in the news. And you know, it's just crazy political these days. So the only person who is even hinting that this might be resolved by the Congress, this election stuff, is Martin Armstrong. And if you don't look and follow Martin Armstrong, you should. He's the only guy who is ever right about economics and political systems, because his computer, the only true artificial intelligence, so he says, I don't know, I'm old, I'm functionally illiterate in computers and that kind of stuff. So, but what he is suggesting is that all these lawsuits that are being brought by Trump and his administration are not to overturn the election, the numbers of the elections, to overturn the election, but to be able to get several states not to certify the election, in which case it'll be resolved by the House of Representatives, and each representative they vote with their delegation, and there are more Republican delegations in the House than there are Democrats. So Trump would win that way. You know, it's like I've said before, it really doesn't make any difference. We're headed down this path of destruction, and that's where we're going to go. It'll just happen a lot sooner under a Biden administration than it will a Trump administration, that's all. Okay, I wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and then I give you bad news, right? We'll be back at the Homestead tomorrow. You know, today is, you know, you're not supposed to travel, you're not supposed to be with family and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how much longer people are going to believe this stuff, but hopefully they wise up sooner than later, because this is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, every time, the reason that we're not at the Homestead is because of doctor's appointments and things like that. And so every time we go somewhere, they test us for, you know, this flu thing. I asked a lady the other day, I saw a lady standing out in front of Walmart, waiting for a ride, I guess, and she was wearing two masks, one of the paper masks and a cloth mask over it, you know, and so she's standing outside, nobody's around, first off. But I asked her if, you know, that was effective, and she was clueless. Excuse me. She was clueless, and I asked her if she knew what the filtration requirements were for this flu stuff, and she said no. So I mentioned to her that you know, this flu stuff that's going around, which is related to the common cold, In order to be able to block that from you breathing it in, if you become exposed to it, you need a mask that filters down to 0.7 microns. And so she, kind of confident that 2 masks is going to do it. And it occurred to me back in the day, as an independent contractor, I've installed a few commercial reverse osmosis units. And those filters, they're cartridges, they're 3-4 feet long. And it's a semi-permeable membrane. And when they come all packaged, and they're sealed on both ends. So out of curiosity, I took one of the ends off and tried to breathe through it to see what semi-permeable meant to me physically. And I could not breathe through that filter. And that's what's required to block this virus. In order to block it, you would have to suffocate, like breathing into a plastic bag. So, it just makes absolutely no sense to me, yet it keeps on going and going and going. And getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because now it's flu season, so they're counting the regular flu in with this virus stuff. But if you'll notice and you'll do the statistics, you'll see that even though the caseload is increasing, the death rate is decreasing, because it's a common flu now. All right. I didn't mean to get into that stuff. We'll be back up at the homestead next week. So, we'll have some pictures and some work and all that kind of stuff to do. And we'll start you guys, as far as these videos are concerned, on a journey towards more self-sustainability. All right, that's all I got for this time. So until next time, toodaloo.